All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for all of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in this awesome Forex market. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. If everybody's all set and ready to go, do me a big favor, drop me a one in the chat so we can get this session going. All right. Okay, I see the ones coming in. All right, so let's go ahead and get into what's going on today. First, let's come over and take a look at, we see that we had CPI numbers come out for the UK, came in under the forecast, right? So they're expecting CPI year over year at 7%. It came in at 6.7%. And the core CPI, excluding food and energy, came in at 6.2%. And this report is just ahead of the Bank of England's rate decision coming up tomorrow, which is at 7 a.m. So you've got the monetary policy statement and you've got the official bank rate votes. And then you've got the official rate coming out. So the projection is 5.5, seeing some improvements in inflation in the UK, still expecting 25 basis points. I don't think they're going to hold rates based on this report. We put some notes in the Discord. So your key points for the UK, consumer inflation dropped 6.7% from 6.8. Is lower than the projected 7%. We just covered that. So the main drivers, we got slowing, right? Inflation's coming down in food, reduced cost accommodation services, and then core inflation minus food and energy to 6.2. So we saw softer price rises in non-alcoholic beverages, home furnishings and maintenance. Recreation and culture came down to 5.8%. Restaurants and hotels decreased to 8.3%. That's good. And then just miscellaneous goods and services came down to 5.6%. And transportation prices down by 0.5%, less than July's 2% decline. And that's going to be, we'll see with the transportation prices because we see the oil prices going back up. Of course, this is lagging data, right? So we'll see how that looks moving forward. That's why, I believe that they're still going to raise about 25 basis points because of that, right? So they still have work to do, regardless of whether or not deflation has come down a little bit. So impact on the British pound and the stock market. The softer inflation rate might elevate concerns over the UK's economic overheating. Concerns over the UK's economic overheating, providing some support to the British pound. In terms of the stock market, reduced inflation could lead to a more favorable environment for businesses and consumers, potentially boosting investor sentiment and stock prices. So just overall summary, UK inflation rate for August showed a mild decrease, which might ease worries about the country's economic status. This could have a positive effect on the British pound and uplift investor confidence in the stock market. So we'll see what happens tomorrow with the rate statement out of the UK. Any questions on that report from this morning? I'll take that as a no. Okay, Ryan, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, bro. I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good, man. Always glad to be here. Always glad to be here. All right. Anything that you caught overnight or yesterday that might have caught your eye?
Nothing additional at the moment.
Cool. So we know the market's kind of on pause, right? Because we got the Fed fund rate coming up at 2 p.m. today. FOMC economic projections, the rate statement, and then the press conference. So right now, most bets are for them to hold rates for September. But we'll see. So Forex Factory has the holding rates as well, keeping the rate at 5.5%. And so if that's the case, right, that's already people are already looking at for that to happen. So it's all about what the tone is going to be going forward. So that's what makes the FOMC press conference important for today at 2:30. Always about that forward guidance. Thursday, we have the Swiss National Bank monetary policy assessment and the rate expected to move 25 basis points to 2%. Okay, and then we've got the press conference after that. That's early tomorrow morning, and then again that's followed by the rate statement for the pound and the Bank of England. So a lot of action. So this stuff should be market moving, and we'll see what happens. Any questions on the fundamentals in general? All right, let's go on over to the DXY, and we can see that the US dollar, we can see that it's starting to top a bit, right? Taking a brief pause. We'll see what happens today. I think the meeting overall might be a little bit of a dud, right? Holding rates and see what they say about things going forward on the dollar. But we can see we're kind of just ranging. All right, we're still holding above that weekly level. But overall, we know that the dollar has been bullish and we're just moving sideways right now. It's taking a break. So maybe we'll see a correction today, depending on what's said. And then, but overall, the dollar has been fairly strong, right? But we're getting a sideways push now. Let's move on into the looking at some of these pairs, looking at this Aussie basket, couple of pairs. We know that we've been tracking this Aussie Swiss, and we're getting some strength as of late. So if we come up here to the daily, we can see that we found that support. We've been pushing high, broke that 57.71 level, and we're moving into a D extension, right? So we can see here on the daily that we have we're nearing an ABCD wave completion. Okay, there. Right, so moving on up, how did that play out? Well, down here on the 4 hour, we had an 80-20. We can see we're running into that D extension. We may run into that 58.43 TP2 level. Okay, so we've gotten all 145 pips plus there, and we'll see if we can get that take profit too. Any questions on the Aussie Swiss?
No, sir.
All right. Moving on to the Aussie yen. Okay. So we know how we feel about the yen basket in general, right? Shorting the yen. The yen is still fairly weak. We do have some jawboning coming out of the Bank of Japan in regards to the runs being made on the yen and the volatility on the yen. I believe I forget who it was, one of the BOJ officials said that he has been in touch with Janet Yellen in just talking about the concerns about the volatility on the yen. So we'll see. Every time the yen weakens, at a rate that they feel is too fast, right? You can hear the jawboning. They start talking to try to talk things down a little bit. And so that's just normal with the yen. We're all used to that now. Overall, we are bullish, right? So we've got to pull back to that 94.84 level, and we can see how we are making an ABCD wave. So 95.85 on this Aussie yen. We get beyond that, we look to complete this ABCD wave, right? Same thing. It's no mystery to what we do in this group. All right. So we look for eventually get to that 96.35 level with this bullish trend continuing with the Aussie yen. Any questions there?
No, sir.
Moving along. Taking a look at the CAD Swissy, right? We are still pushing bullish. Okay. So there was our original setup, ABCD wave, right? 60 pips. We are now beyond that. So we are now 1, 2, 3, 4 waves into the game. We'll see how far this wants to correct, right? But the idea, as long as that CAD stays bullish, benefiting from that oil price moving up till we find that top in oil, we are looking to continue long, okay, with the CAD Swiss. Okay. So again, same thing, different pair, doesn't matter the asset class. We're looking at trade ABCD. Okay. There. Questions on the CAD Swiss? We're continuing to move long as of today.
No, sir. Looking to add to it as we get to that low price.
Absolutely. See what happens, right? See if we can test that trend line, find some support. Okay, so that's the CAD Swiss. So you all can see that once we find these opportunities, chances are from doing the top-down analysis, we'll have the opportunity to stay in these positions for quite some time and potentially add to, right? So while we're not primarily on a 5-minute, 1-minute chart day trading, right? These are swing trades that you can add, look to add to your position, or just hold the position and ride and ride it out, right? So if you're on a 1-minute chart, 5-minute chart, we're already in those positions anyway. Okay? We're already in those positions. I hope you guys can see that. That's the difference. That's the difference. You can use those lower time frames maybe to add to a position, but coming from the top down, it gives you an opportunity to get involved in some pretty large plays. So the CAD yen, right? So this one continues to rock and roll. So we've got this 110.52 level. We know that it has struggled at 108.53 and then eventually broke through. Didn't have any problems with the 109.46 level. Let's see what happens at this 110.52 level. So we are pretty good so far. So off of the 61.8 level, it's 500 pips, right? So we've got a target at 900 pips. Let's continue to watch that oil price. Continue to watch the rhetoric coming from the Bank of Japan, right? So trade that on your lower time frames. We just continue to ride the waves, right? Those ABCD. Okay, so we've had that crown sitting on the chart for a while, and we can see that we're moving. Here's that 110.52 level. We're moving to a 4-hour D extension. Okay, so we still have quite a ways to go. Will this price correct? Absolutely. Right, manage your trade accordingly. Playing a trade, trade your plan. That's it. Okay, we're just trading the waves. Here we are on the one. We've got an 80-20 right at that 110 level. Okay, so this should be quite interesting to see if this carries through. Right, so the 110 level 52. Then we've got that 4-hour D extension sitting just above that at 111.05. Okay, so continue to manage and monitor your trade. Don't be surprised if you see a correction, right, in the near future. That's just how the market goes. Any questions on the CAD? Yeah.
No, sir.
Moving on, I want to take a look at this Swiss yen, still holding above that 164 level. But we have, if we come here and we take a look at this higher time frame on the weekly, right? So we can see how long we've been tracking this trade, right? See where this price ranged and then it broke out, right? Let me clear this up a little bit. Take out my open averages here. Okay. Take that 200 out. So you can see where we ranged for a while, then we broke out around that 117.43 level, and we've just been bullish ever since. But we do have on the weekly a new AB boundary. At some point, we're gonna get that correction. So this is what we've been following coming down. You can see how it's just trapped between this 166.20 and 164 level. Okay, so just moving sideways. And we're getting pretty high on that price. We're range bound right now. I've been waiting to see if we can get a break of that 164 and a break of that trend line for price to start correcting a bit. But so far, nothing yet. We have not gotten to that daily D extension. So it might be trying to seek that out before we get a correction. But who knows, right? Who knows? So those are the technical levels I'll continue to monitor. I don't want to buy up to that D extension. So I am kind of on pause with the Swiss yen. Any questions on the Swiss yen? Keep in mind, we've got a decision coming tomorrow, well, early in the morning. tomorrow. So we're expecting 25 basis points. So maybe we'll see. Maybe that pushes price up. Maybe something is said in regards to the forward guidance that creates a sell-off situation below that 164. So continue to see.
And listen, selfishly, I wanted to push a little bit higher. So
yeah, hit that D extension.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll see. It can go either way. It's a coin flip right now. So that wouldn't be a bad scenario either, because it's that that might trigger the correction after that.
Yeah, just give a fresh look.
Sure. Let's take a look at the Dow, see what we've got going. Some of these pairs. So we can see here that slight up move, right, corrected down. Why? Because we got a deeper correction that's happening on the lower time frame. So we can pull that out, and we've got to see how it's kind of just trapped in that range there. But here's the daily. Okay. And we're just range bound right now. That can make things pretty tough. So from this daily level, it would be beautiful for this ABCD wave to the downside to put us in the sweet spot. Right. So I would like to see a move down. Not sure if we'll get it, but that would be my ideal scenario on that US 30 for us to get a further move to the downside here. 4 hour we've already got, right? We haven't quite gotten to 50% yet. We're just stuck in this range. So nothing doing quite yet for me, at least. But if we can get it to push down further, that would be nice, right? So we can see how we came up around that 118 area and we collapsed. But I would love to see if we can get it pushed down. But I don't know. We'll see. We should see some type of movement after the Fed rate statement today. But just keep an eye on that. It's kind of range bound, right? I would like this, please move down. That would be best move. I don't always get my way in this market. Any questions on the US 30?
No, sir. Looking to see how they respond after that rate statement.
Yep. So, and that kind of makes sense, right, with the sideways movement, because we do have a rate statement coming up for the US. So that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Keep it moving. Let's move into these euros. Take a look at this Euro Aussie. All right. So we know how we played this, right? We came into this TP1. Beautiful 80-20 play. And it looks like, right, we got a little bit of Aussie strength. And so it looks like we're trying to turn over. We get a clear picture from the right off the trend line. See that? Look at that, how it pulled back right to the edge of our sell zone. But when you're reading those candlesticks, everybody, that is a huge bearish engulfing candle. Okay? That's it. That's an easy one. Right? For those of you who are trading this Euro Aussie, right? You pull back, you got a consolidation, and you have a huge bearish candle that broke the trend line. And you can see how we're moving down from there. Okay. So that's one to study. Okay. So some of you, right, this might not be on your radar because you may already be holding a short position, or you might have just gotten out after we hit that major take profit level on that large move. But this here, right, that is textbook. Right? You short that. You can even put your stop above the high. Right, and we're moving down from there. So that is bearish. We just actually took out another low here. Right. So we get that 1 hour candle to close. We look for further move down. So just continuing to short on that Euro Aussie. So a nice pullback, right? 80-20. It's the same stuff. Trust your eyes. Trust that you've done your homework and done the work. Trust your risk management and make the trade. Okay? That's an 80-20. There, look at the pullback. Okay. We consolidated, we broke. We broke down. And now we're getting back short. Any questions on the Euro Aussie? Yep. Over and over and over again. For sure. All right, moving on. Take a look at this Euro Swissy. Okay. Okay. Ranging, didn't hit the stop loss though, right? So it's making some positive momentum. Continue to watch this, continue to manage it. Know your fundamentals. Know that you've got the Swiss National Bank coming with the monetary policy statement and a potential 25 basis point hike tomorrow. Okay, so just continue to watch that. We don't know how much that's already priced in to the market. That 25 basis point hike, it's all about what they say going forward for the Swiss National Bank. But this is ranging, but it is still trying to make moves to the upside. All right, so this has been a choppy one. It's moving sideways, but it's still in play. Any questions on the Euro Swissy?
No, sir. Patiently waiting on that one.
That's it. That's it, right? You already know, right? The advantage is knowing with our simple risk management principle, take your risk and divide it by your stop loss, right? And you'll always be okay. It doesn't have to be any type of dynamic, super crazy risk management plan. Just simply do that and keep it moving. And keep it moving. Know what you can lose before you even get into the trade. And then let the price action work itself out. All right. Euro GBP, right? This is one that we spotted lately that we've been paying attention to. A move in the euro versus the pound, and it is playing out accordingly. All right. It is moving to the upside. All right. So we've got an ABCD wave move, and this is our latest one. So we're now in our second phase. A, B, C, and we look to move to the D extension. Right. If we come to the 1 hour. Doesn't get any cleaner than that. Okay. That's a beautiful ABCD swing. All right, we're headed towards that D extension. All right, so if you're in that trade, if you took us up on that during our sessions last week, just know that you're coming into a 1 hour D extension up against daily resistance. Manage the trade accordingly. Any questions on the Euro GBP?
Finally decided to play with us on this one.
Yep, exactly. It gave us a,
In
it gave us
short
a,
order.
80, yeah, it gave us an 80-20 off the one, and it gave us the ABCD swing. So for once or twice a year, we can catch the Euro GBP doing something and
In
working
the
its
move that
magic.
doesn't take 9 months. Right?
Doesn't take 9 months, man. Such a slow mover. This one's got some good volatility going right now.
It
So
does.
we'll continue to ride the wave, right, guys? If you zoom out, you go from the top down, you see the big picture. Trading doesn't have to be hell. Okay. Euro JPY. Okay. Euro yen. All right. So we know all in all we've been long, right? We spotted a while ago, hey, we've got a possible range, top to bottom, bottom to top. Make the decision, do we want to play it? If we do, we know it's going to do what? It's going to move from bottom to top in an ABCD wave. And right now, that's the type of progress that is making. That's the type of progress that is making. So spotted the range, make the decision as to whether or not we want to play the range. Okay. So here we have an ABCD wave. One. And so we look to see if we can get further gains, right? So It's choppy. It's a mess, right? Because we know that we had a period of time where the euro it weakened, in a correction phase, but overall, it's still long against the yen, right? And that's just where fundamentals come in, right? That's how you find easy trade setups. And just we have to eliminate this concept of time of things happening when we think they should happen, right? And we think they should happen at a certain speed and pace, right? For whatever reason, whether or not, whatever's driving us to trade in these markets, the market's going to do what it wants to do when it wants to do it, right? You may have a target goal that you have. Eliminate the time aspect. That's what gets a lot of us in trouble with over leveraging and rushing things. Is we're concerned about time, right? We have a microwave mentality. We want things now, quick, fast, in a hurry. And that's not in our control, and that's what's getting a lot of us burned in these markets. Even your prop firms eliminated the aspect of time, right? And they did that for a reason. They did that for a reason. It doesn't work when you play that game. It just doesn't. Right? So we've got to become a little bit more patient. Stop jumping from strategy to strategy, group to group, looking for the holy grail, right? And actually stick to something. Anything worthwhile is uphill. We say that all the time. Actually stick to something, learn something, build confidence in yourself, first and foremost, because a lot of times that's an issue, right? We tend to blame it on everything else, the strategy, this and that. But a lot of times it's the person that we're looking at in the mirror every day. That's just it. So that's the Euro JPY. Moving along. All right. The Euro NZD. I want to take a look at this one to see how we are moving. Okay. And Ryan had this pinpointed for a while, right? That hey, this might come down, start to move down as the right tip of the crown. Okay. And so it is making a correction. Okay. It is making a correction to the downside. So far, Ryan was spot on, right? We're still moving down. We're still hanging below that trend line that we drew a long time ago. This is moving bearish, right? Sometimes we have to just trade what we see. Now, will we have that situation where it continues along its path, right? If this wave is going to play out and that 382 is going to be the C, then yes, eventually it'll find support, may reverse. But right now, this is moving down, right? A while ago, for those of you who've been in the group, we pointed it out, it's making lower lows and lower highs. And we've broken that 180.74 level. We've retested it and we're continuing bearish. So this Euro NZD has been moving short. Okay. So far, right, that's been spot on. It's correcting. We're now back down to the trend line. Okay, so we said we'll break and get a continuation on the 1 hour. Okay, just running the fibs to the downside. We didn't get that high of a pullback, but we turned over nonetheless. And we're moving south. So we came in right around, getting close to a 382, just shy, and we're short right now. Okay, so if you were trading this off the one and you were looking for a high price and you didn't get it, and your trade plan calls for you to short at a 61.8, 50%, 786 or higher, you didn't get your play. That's okay. You got it here, but you didn't get it here. That's all right. Move on to another pair. Any questions on the Euro NZD?
No, sir. Been a good move.
It has been. It has been. Euro USD. Let's take a look at it. Okay. Come back down to this level. We drew it up. All right. We found support again at 106.38. We're pushing bullish now. That's after a huge bearish candle, right? That tried to push through that support. We didn't get it, right? So right now, this is holding as a double bottom in that zone. All right. So on your 4 hour, you have a on your 4 hour, you have a new AB boundary. You're getting a correction right off the AB boundary. But the zone, right, on the smaller wave on the 1 hour gave us an 80-20. All right, Ryan spotted that, called that out during the session. And you can see how we were making a move right off that 106.38. And there's that 382 target. So, hey, can we get to 107.65 and then carry through back to 1080? That's the question. But right now, that is a classic Forex trade room inner circle member 80-20. Okay, that's planned. Right now, this is already up, okay, over 60 pips. Total move will go up 160 or so. Is that target? All right. Now, don't take these moves for granted or the setups for granted, everybody. Okay, you guys are out there in the trading space. People lucky if they can get 100 pips in a week. Some people don't get it in a month, and if you're losing money every month, then you're not getting it at all. All right, make your rounds on YouTube and everywhere, and see if they're finding this consistent or not. Right, unless they watch this. Ryan, any pairs that do you have any pairs on the radar?
Can you take a look at the NZD Swiss?
Sure will. NZD Swiss. What time frame you plan off of?
I am playing this one off of, shoot, hold on. It was the 180-20.
Off the one? Okay.
Yeah, off the one.
This is what I was saying right here. Guys, listen. Learn how to draw your fibs. I don't know what package you guys have for a smart trader, right? But you could just scan your fib, right? Just scan your fib there. All right. Scan your fib. There's your 80-20, right? Coming into second. So there's right. We know how to mark up our fibs. We could do it in our sleep. But there's how I called it right there in the swing. And then the one Ryan is talking about is right here. So if I take the smart analytics off, you can see this swing moving to the upside. It's a beautiful move. Okay? So it calls out, when you put the analytics on it, it calls out the capital fibs and all of the smaller fibs, right? Which is why I still just like doing it the way I do it, because it keeps the chart a lot cleaner. But Ryan, we're gonna get that target. Right?
Yes, sir.
The question becomes tomorrow, with the Swiss National, with the bank rate statement.
Yeah.
But I don't know how large of an impact it'll have. Because 25 basis points, I think a lot of people are expecting. So
we've broken quite a few levels. So if anything, it might just give a pullback to reach some of the levels that some of the shorter term levels that we broke before continuation. I think, if anything.
All right. So just being patient. All right. And this is why we don't concern ourselves with the drawdown when we're swing trading. Because the drawdown, if the drawdown occurs, is within our risk anyway. It's within our risk anyway. Okay, so we're here. Okay. At 15 pips, call it. The TP is 211. Okay, your TP is 211. So on your counter trends, you're in a positive risk to reward ratio, right? And then it becomes even more positive as we move to TP2. Right? It's 290 to TP2. Trade the zone. What's the sense? What's the sense in timing this? I don't know. Yep. Any more thoughts on that NZD switch, Ryan? That's a great move, man.
Yeah, no, that's it's moving beautifully. So, like I said, that ratio might give a pullback to retest a level or so, but I think we're headed to that target. So, good scenario.
Indeed. Indeed. What is that up off the like 90 pips? Right?
Yeah, off my entry, I'm at 106.
106. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you're catching pips in your sleep. That's a decision you guys have to make, whether or not you want to play it like this or you want to be sitting in front of your computer all day. Right? NZD, let's take a look since we're in these. Let's take a look at the CAD. I do need to review these. Right? Overall, that's the weekly move down, right? We're still below that 80.64 level. Okay. We're getting some pullback now, but you guys can see we've already pulled back to a 61. Look at the drop off that level. Be patient and let the trade work. Okay. 4 hour new AB balance sheet, right? So you guys remember the crown? It played out and it completed. Okay. So this is your larger weekly fib, and then these are your 4 hour waves coming down. So now we've got a new AB boundary. Okay. So let's see how this moves. Okay. When that AB boundary forms, we know what we're looking for. We know the scenarios that we're looking for. Okay. There's the one. So look how we moved off that right tip. If you weren't involved, right, off of the original play, you had another opportunity. Okay. Off the right tip of that crown. That's the NZD cam. NZD JPY. Continuing to push long. I know it's nothing fancy here in this group. It's an ABCD wave that we're trading over and over and over again. It's like for those of you who play sports, right? Sometimes you'll get that fancy athlete plays football. He has his visor on. He's got 6 gold chains, 8 wristbands, all types of different color leggings on, fancy cleat, and can't catch a football. What difference does it make if you don't have a basic skill of knowing how to catch a football? Trading's no different. You can light your chart up. You can use fancy technology. You can use all types of crazy terms, right? 007 terms, you know, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If you can't understand the fundamental and technical aspects of trading and understand that the market moves, it's that simple. and sprinkle it with proper risk management. Bullish on the NZD JPY. Right. It's moving along. Right. It's been choppy. It's been taking its time, but it's moving along overall. Right. It's moving along. You come down to the 4, it gets choppy, there's your way. Move to the upside. Smart Trader helps you out. It'll scan them for you. If you don't like all of this stuff, let it scan it and then come down and put it back on there yourself. That's moving along. It's the same thing. Right. What was this? 80-20. What is it doing now? ABCD swing. Questions on the NZD JPY?
No, sir.
Right. Keep showing up. Participate in your own rescue. NZD USD. Right. Getting a bit of a U-turn, right? Dollar correct. Move down to the lower time frame. It's an 80-20. Any questions on the NZD?
No, sir.
Let's take a look at the UJ, right? Track the progress. Still moving along. Trade idea was for 1,380 pips. Almost, we're pretty much up 1,000. Potentially 380 pips to go. All right. This one didn't give us a deep correction. That's okay. Price action patterns, we double bottom. Took off there. Any questions on the UJ? Yep, that's it. And I agree 100%. 100%. Okay. Today I saw there are thousands of workers across America on strike right now. I guess it's a mystery. In other news, CEO pay has skyrocketed 1,460% since 1978, while the typical worker pay grew just 18%. You're on your own, everybody. You got to figure it out. And that's okay. There's freedom in knowing that. All right.
Can you get us that one more time, bro?
One more stat. All right. CEO pay skyrocketed 1,460% since 1978, while the typical worker pay grew by just 18%. Become your own CEO.
Bingo.
That's unbelievable. Dollar Swiss. Moving along, moving sideways, right? The dollar's moving sideways right now. We saw that at DXY. That's why we look at it to start the move. Okay. But we're in the middle of an ABCD wave. Let's see what happens with the rhetoric that comes out of the FOMC meeting today. It's ABCD. Try the same thing over and over and over. See the big picture. Okay. There. New AB boundary on them. ABCD way. Right? Drew it up a while ago, right? Draw it on your charts. That's the beauty in smart trading. Set it up, let it run. You know the zones that we like to trade, whether it's with the trend or counter trend. We know what we like to trade. Sweet spot. Sweet spot. Take a look at crude. New AB boundary, right? Got that correction, makes sense. Got the correction. I don't know what's going on my chart looks so far. What happened here, right? Your chart got that? Did your oil look like that?
Mine looked like that too, and I'm not sure what caused that.
I don't know. They'll fix it. They'll correct it. Price action still. But it's an ABCD way, right? So look at the reaction that we're getting. We haven't gotten a deep retracement yet. We're reacting to the downside. But a lot of folks are calling, right, for that oil to hit $100. Right? We can roll with that. I don't know what that is. But just continue to move up. Are we gonna have corrections? Absolutely. It's gonna correct. Right? We're at the level, we're at a key level. 1, 2, 3, we got a cluster there. Okay, across the board. So looking way back, right? This is the level. Okay. Past support becoming future resistance. We move back left on the chart. So continue to watch it, but there hasn't been a change in the shift in demand, especially with China, right? Got some good economic data as of late, which everybody was expecting coming into the year, right? But they got a little boost that continues to go back and forth. So on the demand front, we don't see a decline in demand for oil. And we know we sure enough doesn't see an increase in output and production from the big oil players. So we do expect oil to continue to go up. But of course, it's going to correct. The market moves and wanes. All right. So that's that on the oil front. We'll take a look at our Exxon since we're on the oil. Look at our Exxon trade to see how things are playing out. We got a little bit of a sideways push now. But we'll move right back into it if fibs go. There we go. All right, so we continue to move long. We're moving sideways. Okay, you guys see what's happening with crude. So we got a sideways push there, but there's the breakout. Okay, it's been moving long ever since. We expect it to stay long into that D extension. That's up there. That's 122.31 for Exxon at that extension off the 4 hours. So we'll continue to see. Maybe we get a consolidation and a breakout back to the upside on that. So that's Exxon there. Take a look at this pound dollar.
Hey, bro, did you take a look at the pound Aussie yet?
Did not. I'll check it out as soon as we do this one. I did not.
Appreciate it.
Yep. So here we are, right? We worked our way all the way back down to that level, which is what we projected. Okay. So we're at 123.66 and it's trying to hold there. It's trying to hold there. So let's see what happens with the FOMC meeting today, right? Because there's that second level at 123.06. And we can see with this move down, right? So we know we played this 80-20 to the downside. And we've got a new AB boundary on this sub fib. So the question is, right? Do we push a little bit lower, right? Right into that zone where we'll have some good confluence with a 61.8 and an 80-20 scenario on the 4 hour on the pound dollar. If we come down to The 1 hour chart. You can see, right, if we come down to that 123.06 level, you'll have an 80-20 there on the 1 hour on the smaller wave. So just continue to be patient on that. I've got my downtrend lines going, and right now we're staying below. So let's see what happens on the data that comes out today, 2 and 2:30. All right. Taking a look at the sorry, price action is going. And I've been moving kind of fast. Which pair did you want me to draw the box on?
I think that was Exxon or oil.
Oh, Exxon. Oh, the oil. Okay. This oil or Exxon? This price action is kind of. Oh, the big green, the big green candle. It's like this. What you want me to do?
Looking for a support zone. Is that we go back and retest the resistance level or something?
Straight across the back, straight across the. To see where it's holding. This is on the daily. Let me just scroll back. We got a zone. We got a zone there, right? That's way back. Was that June 11th, right? So got an area there. I don't know. I don't know what this. I don't know what this is though. I don't know if that's. I'm not even gonna try to make an explanation for that. 'Cause I don't know. I don't know. Price is going down to that level. Yeah, maybe to retest it. Yeah, but I have to see. I don't know who anybody does anybody have that trading view chart up? Anything? Because I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a smart trader thing, if that's actual, if that's carrying across all platforms. So somebody let me know on that. Yep. So we'll get an update on that. That's weird. That's some weird price action there. Oh, you want to take a look at the pound Aussie rand, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So continue to move down. Look at that. Ooh. Thinking TP2 on that one.
Yeah, man. On one of my accounts, I didn't move my stop. I mean my take profit level. So only got 800 pips out of that one.
That's really nice. But that's huge. Ain't that crazy? But this is what we're talking about, everybody, right? Like, and I'm glad you brought this one up, Ryan, because we had drew the completion up on this crown a while ago. And this is what we mean by your higher time frames control your control your lower time frames. That's a lot of pips, man. Your higher time frames control your lower time frames. So we always say, like, you have to watch out when your higher time frame extensions get hit. And it's not like they happen multiple times, like all the time, frequently throughout the year, because the higher time frames, those extensions take a while to get hit. But look what happened when this weekly de-extension was hit. Right? Look at the reaction, and it wipes out these other your smaller time frames, your lower time frames. It doesn't matter. Higher time frames control the lower time frames. You see how this ABCD wave was playing out, and we got within not too far away from that 1.618 D extension. But when that higher time frame took over, it took over. See that? That D extension got hit. It's just letting you know that we're getting close to a major exhaustion point in the market. So those higher time frame extensions getting hit are very, very powerful. That's why we pay attention to them. Right? And you can see 800 pips is crazy, right? That's an insane move. But this is why operating from the top down is very, very, very important. The market is fractal. Higher time frames control the lower time frames. Okay? It's like gold. Yep. Oh yeah, and that for sure. Now, what you guys and why we say like listen, the whole concept of time, right? Because you may be growing your a small account. Some of you may have large accounts, don't know, right? It's not a primary focus in this group, but say you're looking to trade for a prop firm or whatnot, you're looking for extra capital, get into one of those challenges and they have those tight restrictions and it only allows you to trade at micros. And say you have a $500 target that you have to hit. Well, if you're trading at micros and that went 800 pips, right? Okay, that's $80, but you just did that off a dime buy, pretty much. But that's a whole nother topic. But what you have to think and say you're talking to one of your buddies or one of these jokers out here in social media, and you say, "Well, I passed my challenge. Well, what was the target? The target was $500. How long did it take you? Oh, I traded real small. It took me 3 months, 4 months, however long it took, right? So say it took you 5 months to hit that 500 pip, that $500 target because you were trading only dimes, right? So that's 5,000 pips. And they laugh and they get all crazy. Well, I can do that in my sleep, blah, 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 which 90-some% of people fail in the market. So large part of people are lying, right? So, but that's neither here nor there. So what you have to think to yourself is, okay, I wasn't playing with a lot of capital, even though some people out here think that $500 or $1,000 is a lot of capital for some reason. You trade that as standard. It's part of the problem. So you say, okay, it took me 5 or 6 months and I got 5,000 pips. But what you have to think about is when I get consistent at this and my account grows and I hit different levels, that same 5 or 6 months that took you trading in micros to hit your $500 target. As your account grows, that same 5 or 6 months with that same discipline, at some point, right, will earn you $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, right? And as you get better at holding your positions, what took you 6 months before is now only taking you 3 months because I'm becoming more disciplined and holding my positions, right? I'm not I'm not in and out of trades, right? So same methodology, same discipline. I'm getting better. Now it's not taking me as long and my account is growing. So now that same discipline becomes, well, what was your target? Oh, it was 10,000. Well, how long did it take you? 2 months. You guys follow me on that? Drop me a 1 in the chat. Because it's your journey, which is why we focus on the methodology in this group and getting consistent because it's your journey. Nobody else's, right? So that's what you have to understand. And that's really the whole point in those type of challenges. It's for you to put on display your discipline and your growth. And as you grow, your levels grow and your account grows. But ultimately, you're supposed to be taking the same approach no matter what, and gradually scale up. Because a lot of times people say, if you scale up too fast, your psychology gets messed up. The drawdowns looks bigger. It may only represent 1% of your account, but it looks enormous if you scale up too fast. And sometimes you can't handle that. And your trading becomes a train wreck. So think about that as you grow your own accounts, or if you're in these prop firm challenges or whatever, think about that. Get rid of that time concept. Get rid of it. You look at a target like 500, but we want you to hit 500 bucks. And you think, well, it's just 500 bucks. I should do that in a week. That's when you fail. That's when you fail. That's the problem. See the big picture, everybody. Any questions on anything we covered this morning? Ryan, great job on that pound Aussie, man. It's amazing holding that trade. Drop some sevens. Yeah, where my sevens at? I got some sevens in the chat. Some sevens. Holding the trade for 800 pips. Just letting it ride. Come on now. Yeah, happy Tuesday. Yep, or Wednesday. What's today? It's Tuesday or Wednesday? Is it Wednesday?
Today was Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. All right, I'm all messed up. I got stuff all over the place. Cheerleading, football, work, projects. Anyway, but great job, Ryan. Anything to add before we close out, sir?
No, man. Hey, I really want you guys to take what Benny just said to heart about the concept of time. That's extremely valuable. So go back and re-listen to, even if you don't listen to the rest of this session, go back and re-listen to the last 10 minutes, right? And really let that sink in so that as we move to this next phase, you're ready to commit a higher level of discipline to this process, to this experience, to this skill. Great point, bro.
Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. Keep in mind that we've got major news today. Yes, I'm sorry, somebody was speaking. My bad.
I was gonna ask, like, what kind of things did you do to create the discipline to really achieve? Do you hold yourself accountable, or how did you hold yourself accountable to just creating the discipline on a daily, from going from the smaller to the bigger?
Like journaling really helped. Writing down my thoughts, and really realizing where I was making my mistakes. I didn't realize that. I had to go back in the day and trade at micros and small, because that's where I should have been. You get what I'm saying? Like that's my risk management was off. Like, because what was going on was the discipline came when I scaled back and really truly realized what 1% was. Right? And sometimes when you're trying to get somewhere because of whatever reasons, right? Sometimes it's like, hey, I want to get out of my job, or I'm tired of my boss, or whatever it is, certain things that you feel like you need, that can cloud your picture, So early in the game, I was really over leveraging, but it wasn't until I started journaling, really, I was holding myself accountable to journal and write my thoughts down. And why? Because I'm just like, I know this, like everybody on here can see these waves occurring, but we're not consistently profitable. Like, well, why is that? So it took for me to journal. So that's my biggest thing, is journaling, to realize where am I off? Like, I'm up today, down tomorrow, now I'm losing money. Like, what is going on? And what I realized is, like, man, I keep setting myself back because my risk management was horrible. That was the issue. And then even when there were times when I would recognize that and say, okay, we gotta get that trade management discipline in, I would go back and do the same thing. Like I would scale up, but the way I was scaling up was too fast and too volatile. You know, it's kind of like the Bank of Japan, like, hold on, this is going too fast. Like everybody's making this run on the yen. I was doing things too fast because of time, because of the time frame that I had in my head and what and my expectations, which weren't real expectations at all. And that's what's happening to the majority of us, is that we have false expectations, right? And so that's what made me, when I started to realize that, that's when I scaled it back. Like, oh, wow. Early in this game, I'm supposed to be working on my trade discipline and getting consistent. I don't deserve to be trading at a standard right now, or $1 a pit right now, or $2 a pit right now. I'm not there yet. And sometimes that's hard when you have to look yourself in the mirror and realize, like, I'm not there. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And so that's what caused me to, because I actually had to put it on paper and see, and it's just like trading, and see the pattern. That was my issue. So that's what led me to get more discipline, was journaling, writing those notes to myself, Ryan and I going back and doing the back testing. You know, just like we had that thing this year saying, hey, like, guys, if all we did was play yen long, go long against the yen, it would be a successful trading year. But we only realized that from journaling, right? And talking to each other and going back and back testing and seeing trades play out. Ryan, got your hand raised?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ryan, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't see what happened.
My bad. I got logged out. I had logged back in.
Okay.
I'm getting in the car. Hold on 1 second. I'll come back because I want to make a point on that. I just don't want it to be too loud. 1 second.
Okay.
My bad. So all of those things that Benny said, and at the end of the day, what it comes down to is owning this experience, owning the journey, and being willing to do what's required, not what we feel like, not what we want to do, but what's required. And what's required is owning the experience, and in that ownership,
You're breaking up, Ryan.
to do the things that are necessary to instill discipline, right? Over again. Owning that experience and forcing yourself
Hey, Ryan, we're losing you, buddy. I think we lost him, everybody.
My bad. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Oh, my bad. No, I was just saying, really owning this experience, owning the process of development and growth, and owning the process of instilling the discipline. So doing the things that are necessary and doing the things that are required instead of doing the things that we feel. And that's the other part on that goes into the discipline and the journaling and the back testing, is really forcing ourselves to do these things. And I had to do it too. Like literally sitting down and forcing myself to go step by step by step by step. And some people say, oh, you're crazy. Okay, that's fine. All right. But I'll be crazy and I'll be able to make some money. People want to be right instead of making money. And I got to the point where I was tired of being right. I wanted to do what was necessary.
It's a great point. That was well said. That's a good way to end the session. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. Donette, that was a great question. So keep your eyes focused, right? We've got fundamentals coming up today that are major, leading to tomorrow as well. And so continue to look for different things being posted in the Discord, different setups, different notes on the fundamental data that comes out. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Manny.
Welcome.
Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome.